Okay everyone, again Osborne mock paper 3 we are continuing with the task 2.2. Task 2.2 in this paper is dealing with the preparation of the apportionment table using the VLOOKUP. Okay, so first go to apportionment calculation. Use VLOOKUP for the values of the bits of apportionment for the table from F5 to K10. The base of apportionment information is on the worksheet called basis of apportionment. So we have here the apportionment calculation, but the apportionment basis are not given to you here, and the basis of apportionment is given to you in this different sheet. So rather than copy pasting this over there, you will have to use VLOOKUP to pick up the values into the apportionment table. Okay, so molding, VLOOKUP, lookup value will be your basis of apportionment. Table array will be the table over here. Use absolute referencing. And then column index number. Let's take a look. First we are filling up these values for molding. So column index number for molding is 2. For glazing it will be 3, 4 and 5. Okay, it will be the same formula, but you just need to change the column reference number. So column index number for molding will be 2 and the range lookup will be false, and say OK. So that has picked up. Now when you copy paste this formula over here, this B6 will become B7, B8, B9 and so on. But we don't want to change that because floor space is only in one section. Okay, so put an absolute referencing for B6 and then copy paste the formula into the next cells. Control C, Control V. But just make sure you change the row reference number. The reason why we are changing the row reference number, because of base of apportionment for molding is in row 2, but for glazing is in 3, 4, 5 and 6. So just change the column index number. So from 2 to 3, then 4, then 5 and then 6. Check the total once. Total floor area is 825, which is fine. Let's continue with the next one now. Value of machinery. Everything will remain the same, but just this B6 you want to change it to B7. So copy paste the same formulas here, but go back here and change from B6 to B7. B6 to B7, because now your basis of apportionment is depreciation, value of machinery. So B6 to B7. You could have done a new VLOOKUP also, not a problem, but saves time. Check the total and see if it matches to the table or not. So total value of machinery is 60,000 and you can see it is 60,000. Next one, again it is floor space. So copy paste the same function. Control C, Control V. But again change your base of apportionment from B6 to B8. I know this is the same one, but still because you are looking at this one and not here, that's why just better to change it. Even though the values are the same, Excel, it might, if you use the formula like that, they may say you're using incorrect calculation because you're still looking at basics. Again the same thing. Again change B8 to B9 this time. Oops, sorry. Change the whole formula. And then check the totals also. Last one is number of employees. Still you can use the same formula. Only thing is your base of apportionment is now B10. So change B9 to B10. Oops. Sorry. And then do up a total to check, which is 9, and your base of apportionment for number of employees is also 9. So all the first table is now completed. Let's see what else we need to do. Apportion the total cost in the apportionment table using appropriate formula in the data from the apportionment basis table. Use AutoSum to add the allocated cost across each cells into K15 and K25. Okay, so using this apportion basis what we calculated, we need to now calculate these costs over here. So cost of molding, total cost divided by total floor area multiplied by the use of molding department. Now this total cost and total floor area are not going to change, so use absolute referencing on them, and that way you will be able to copy paste the formula. Now move it until maintenance and then check the total. 3,300, 3,300. Depreciation, again total depreciation divided by total value of machinery multiplied by the usage of the particular department. These totals are not changing, so absolute referencing on them and copy paste into the next cells, and then use AutoSum to check the total, 15,000. Floor space, again lighting and heating, using floor space, total lighting and heating divided by total floor space area multiplied by the usage of the particular department. Absolute referencing, function F4, and copy paste. Rent and rates also is using floor space, rent and rates divided by total floor space multiplied by the usage. Last one is supervisor salaries, total divided by the total number of employees multiplied by the number of employees in the particular department. Absolute referencing and copy paste. Check the totals again. and check the final total here also. So that is all done. Now they want you to do reapportionment of stores and maintenance. Okay, so let's see how to do the reapportionment. Use appropriate formula, use AutoSum to add all the allocate costs from K15 to K25. We done up to K19. We have not reached it up to there. When we reach, we can do AutoSum up to here. Put an if statement in L15 to compare the total cost in E15 to the calculated cost in K15, showing OK if it correct and error if not. Copy this down to L19. In L15 they want you to put a formula from here. If this total cost is equal to this total cost, let me check that, is it E? Yeah. If these two costs are equal, they want you to put a OK. Otherwise, they want you to put error. So equal to logical if E15 equal to K15, then say OK. If not, error. Say OK. And then copy paste this formula up to L19. All of them are working fine. You have been given the following information regarding the time spent by stores and maintenance. Okay, so stores department is spending 60% in molding, 30% in glazing, and 10% in finishing. So when you're reapportioning the stores, 60% goes to molding, 30% to glazing, and 10% to finishing. So first, the stores department equal to multiplied by 60%, then equal to multiplied by 30%, then equal to multiplied by 10%. Check the AutoSum. 4,440. So this has been now divided. Maintenance is using 75, 15 and 10. So maintenance 3,700 times 75% times 15% times 10%. AutoSum again. 3,700 all distributed. So we got the total cost. All the sums are calculated already. And they want you to do a total sum here also. These two should be now be recorded as a negative figure, I think. No, just ignore that. They did not tell us anything to do that. Okay. Complete the apportionment basis using the direct method, apportioning the stores and maintenance costs using this information, which we have done. Format the cost information to GBP thousands with 2 decimal places. Amount data can be viewed. Put totals, border formatting. All this formatting we can do that, so I'm going to ignore that section. Overheads are to be apportioned on machine hours for molding and glazing and labor hours for finishing. On the apportionment calculate worksheet, enter the overhead absorption rate for each department in the appropriate place. Use the proforma email. So we are not using the email, but we need to calculate the overhead absorption rate. So overhead absorption rate for molding and glazing will be calculated using the using the machine hour basis, and for labor hours it will be using the and for finishing we are using the labor hours. So that's what we need to do now. Okay, so we need to calculate the base overhead absorption. Formula for overhead absorption is overheads divided by the basis of apportionment. And for molding, they want you to use machine hours, and there are 25,000 machine hours used by molding department. So total cost divided by the total machine hours will give you the overhead absorption rate. For glazing also, they wanted to use the machine hours, and number of machine hours used by glazing is 3,865. So again, the total cost divided by 3,865, and then for finishing they want to use labor hours, and it is 1,232. So the total cost divided by 1,232, which is the labor hours. And then they want to format all of these amount values by a pound sign with 2 decimal places. This cost has been apportioned now, so we can say equal to minus this figure, and here also equal to minus this figure. Now this total and this total is the same. Previously these two totals were different. And this is the overhead absorption rate for each and every individual department. So that is your overhead absorption table completed. Thank you.